Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's log, subdate 221011.6. While Bork is struggling to consume his own biomatter, I've used his replicator rations to give the senior staff some cake and the NPC crew dog treats. In this, I truly believe everyone is a winner. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'd like to talk about Twitchcon. Didn't know it was a thing, didn't know it happened, but I heard a few stories and saw a few tweets. Mostly Hassan Pika getting very cross when someone challenged him about the Sam Hyde offer, simply asking if he'd accept it.
Are you ever gonna accept Sam Hyde's fight offer?
What? I don't, dude, no. Why are you talking to me about some dumbass weirdo Nazi? What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Explain yourself.
What do you mean?
You think it's funny, dude?
Someone
you got
challenged
some weird you got some weird deadbeat loser comedian who is completely lost all of its importance on the world by himself over, by giving Andrew Anglin $5,000 in his Nazi defense fund. And you're gonna come to me and be like, it's so funny. Yeah, it's not funny, is it? Do you like that? Do you think it's funny?
I would like to see the fight between you two.
Yeah.
There's no explaining.
I don't want to be around these losers, and you should probably conduct yourself a little bit better.
And then when I watched a short 6-minute, 50-second video of Hassan Pika's time at TwitchCon, turns out the guy really doesn't have an offsetting. He also drips in sarcasm and doesn't appear to be able to blend in.
I'm going to try to avoid that. That's why I'm wearing casual plain clothes instead of, hey, what's going on, man?
Bryce, bro.
Nice to meet you, man.
Love your content, man.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Because he's built like a U-Haul truck. He's very tall, he's very obnoxious, but it is very funny watching him not turn off for a moment and just be himself like he is on streams, unless it's one hell of a character, while also kind of saying whatever about capitalism while talking about merch booths. Interesting.
Yeah, where's my merch booth? I'm not gonna go yet. At TwitchCon in San Diego, there's a lot of booths, okay? These are all like hashtag sponsored booths. You know, it's marketing, it's capitalism, it's whatever.
If by chance you did watch that stream and you are more interested in the political debate, there was a small one, and we found out, which was already known, who Hassan was going to vote for, in 2024.
Oh,
Please have
no.
a picture, please. Wait, which one's the stream? I didn't even see you. Listen, we're gonna have a little political debate.
Yeah?
Because,
What are you gonna say? Every time I'm playing basketball, after I'm done with streaming, I get a FaceTime from Aiden, and he's like, so what do you think about Trump?
2024 comes up. Who you vote for? Trump or Biden?
Biden.
I respect your opinion. I do.
You're not gonna vote for Trump.
I'm gonna vote for Kanye.
With what is currently going on with Kanye West, that would be a very interesting primary, especially as, much like politicians, if you're not the right kind, they will gaslight you anyway. Although with Kanye, you can never be sure if it's gaslighting or if it's actual genuine concern. If we are to now move on from Hassan Pika's rather cringy interactions with his peers, although I doubt he considers any of them that, we should now talk about things that contributed towards overshadowing TwitchCon itself. For example, there were some people who were unable to attend that were promoted to be there, Pokimane being the more obvious, she was under the weather. Another streamer though has claimed she broke her back in 2 places at TwitchCon. The streamer was called Adriana Chechik, and what happened was, as she went to jump into a foam pit, well, it didn't really go to plan. In fact, she landed really stiff on top of the foam.
Great victory there.
I can't get out. Are you okay?
She's held down by the piffle medic.
Gravity.
No, she's fine.
All right, we'll make sure she is okay. Get her out of the pit.
Landed on her tailbone.
Yeah.
Now she lives in the pit now, I kind of think.
Which I will admit did surprise me, but then at the same time, some people weigh next to nothing, so they're not going to move all that foam. I had assumed the reason she did the jump in the first place was because she was desperately trying to capture that one sweet frame that she could use as a thumbnail for something, or something philosophical for their Instagram that many people like to go with their weird little posed pictures. Adriana had claimed that she happily jumped into the pit, but then began to writhe in pain instantly, further pointing out that she is going to have surgery and have a rod inserted into her back for support, with her tweeting, "Well, I broke my back in 2 places and I'm getting surgery to put a meter rod in for support today. Send your support. When it rains, it pours, and I'm definitely feeling the rain right now." Just for the sake of transparency, so Twitchcon themselves don't get into any legal trouble, that particular foam pit was part of a booth from Lenovo, who are there to promote a Legion series of gaming PCs. Participants for this stood on a plank and aimed to knock their opponent down with a purple weapon that looked like something you'll find at a gym, or it looked like something seen out of Gladiators. So this particular foam pit was not something you are supposed to jump into, more provide a soft landing-ish when you are knocked off your plinth, meaning Adriana, more than likely because of this little loophole, can't even sue them for what happened to her. This though was not the only thing to come out of TwitchCon that was truly horrendous. I will insert the disclaimer, at time of recording it is still an allegation, but it is a severe one nonetheless. It comes from Twitch streamer Lewd Wife, who had tweeted out, "I was sexually that by a Twitch community member and I won't be quiet anymore." Underneath is a twit longer we will go through in a moment. She also said, "I had Twitter closed for hours. I'm shocked at the outpouring of support. I will be making a proper police report about this when I return home." Later on she did actually tweet out, "I just talked to the most lovely police officer. I wasn't looking forward to it, but he was so kind and I'm off to sleep feeling much lighter." Now we can go to the twit longer. "I'm at TwitchCon. I've heard of multiple assaults from both men and women. Being groped, fondled, harassed, saying no repeatedly only to be ignored. Many of whom don't want to make a public post about it, which is their right. But this has got to stop in the Twitch community. Posting this is terrifying, but I refuse to live in fear of what people might say about me for speaking out." In July 2022, I was at a weekend-long event with a very large group of Twitch streamers, people who are my friends and that I trust. This is not the first time nor last I've gone to these events. 2 separate incidents occurred to me that night by the same man, and I witnessed him doing it to one other woman also. I had never met this particular man before in person, but I knew him from our online community. That night he was very friendly, draping himself over people, hugging, running backs, cracking dirty jokes. He was clearly intoxicated. I had weird vibes, but I didn't think much of it at the beginning. The first incident occurred at the patio we were gathered at, where Stevie Business approached me from behind, slid his arm over my shoulder, then his hand down my chest and groped my breast. I removed his hand, walked away and kept my distance. I said nothing when I should have, and moved on with my night. A witness asked if I was okay, and I said this happens all the time to me, so I'm going to move on with my life and not let it affect me. I soon after witnessed him grabbing another woman's ass, and asked her if I needed to step in. She said no, she would speak up if it continued. He obtained zero consent from either of us, yet we said nothing, and we went on with our lives because this is so common and we didn't want to ruin other people's nights. Later that night, when our group of friends moved on to a second location, while I was waiting to get a drink at the bar, I felt a body press against me. I saw it was Stevie and coldly turned away from him waiting for my drink. Even though I tried moving forward away from him, he kept himself pressed against me. I grabbed my drink and felt his hand slide across my backside, quickly moving forward between my legs. I jumped, turned and gave him a dirty look and ran to my table. I didn't know what to do at that point and left the group to go back to my hotel and sleep. I was overwhelmed and scared and didn't say anything. The next night we were on a boat party. I spent most of the night outside of the group. I tried and sometimes managed to participate in some of the festivities, putting on a smile so people didn't worry about me, but the weekend was ruined, so I barely touched a drink and spent the whole time making sure my female friends who were drinking were safe and looked after. Many commented on me being a mother hen that night. A few weeks go by and I said nothing. Then another woman contacted me. She asked about if he had done things to me. I asked her why she wanted to know. Witnesses had said something to her, and she wanted to know if it was true, because she and another 2 women were sexually assaulted by Stevie at another streamer event. I since found out his assaults have included twisting nipples, hands on breasts, grabbing genitals, pulling a woman onto him forcefully and inserting his fingers into a place where they shouldn't be. I do not have the right to name names or who told me about this, but there were witnesses and multiple people I have heard this from. These are just the ones I know about. There could have been more women at other events. I know of female friends he was trying to meet with on other occasions, one of which he cancelled on after he discovered her family was going to be with her. I am done being quiet. What happened to me was unacceptable. What happened to other women was unacceptable. Consent is a thing. Female streamers shouldn't be scared to hang out with groups of friends, but we are because of things like this. Now, under the Twits longer, in the original tweet from Lewd Wife, Prismatic Kitsune had tweeted, @CrowFam and Team XO, might want to peep this when a member of your own community is sexually assaulting multiple women out there, with Team XO reaching out and saying thanks for the heads up. This is not something that we stand for. We're sorry you had to go through this, and we shall be taking action in regards to this. With Team XO later tweeting, due to allegations in this tweet, we've made the decision to remove this person from Team XO. We will not tolerate this kind of behavior from anyone. There is a level of skepticism that should always be applied, and investigations must be completed before we jump to conclusions. I fully agree. Not going to make excuses for that. In this instance, Team XO have to act because of optics. This is regardless of whether or not an investigation has been conducted or is concluded with results found, presented, and shown for all to see. And I am not, for the sake of this, going to be offering any opinion on that. Now, how does it tie into TwitchCon? Because somebody's at TwitchCon. That's the connection. It's not until you read it you realise this happens at other events as well. If any of it is true, then those involved need to be punished. And I will say this quite clearly. If you go to an event to see a creator you like, or to see your friends, respect their space. This is not a vastly complex thing to do. Simply respect it, or you end up suffering consequences like this, which can be easily avoided. Oh, one last thing concerning TwitchCon that I forgot to include is a tweet from iQuackBur. Misgendering streamers, having a deadly foam pit that has broken someone's back, none of the panels being appropriately sized, fans being allowed to go to CCS's hotels, content creators, people trampling wheelchair users, CMC being invited. What the F is going on at TwitchCon? Lord, I was going to go to this as well. I am so sorry to everyone who did go. Well, it's nice to see it went off without a hitch then.